Hi there, it's Cheryl Truesdale, and I'm thrilled that you're here with me for this episode of Cheryl Shares TV, your station for inspiration. Now, I think it's fair to say that we all struggle to some degree with negative thinking. Unfortunately, those negative vibes have a tendency to permeate our self-image, don't they? If you have a habit of thinking, talking, and acting negatively, it only makes sense that you could end up feeling negative about yourself and your life. Negative thinking tends to produce negative results, make sense? That's why feeling good about yourself starts with getting into the habit of being positive about how you think, about how you talk, and about how you act. It is amazing how much better life gets when we decide to adopt a positive frame of mind. Improving the quality of your life might come down to simply turning in one habit for another. In this case, exchanging the habit of negative thinking that hinders you with positive thinking that promotes love and success and self-confidence and well-being and happiness. So in today's video, I'm going to show you a great way to start developing the habit of being positive with a strategy that I call Celebrate You, an exercise in positive thinking. Now, before we get to today's exercise, I thought it would be helpful to shed a little light on negative thinking, where it comes from and why we do it. So the real obstacle to positivity is that our brains are hardwired to look for and focus on threats. Now, this survival mechanism served humankind well back when we were hunters and gatherers, living each day with the real threat of being killed by someone or something in our immediate surroundings. Not so much a problem for humans living in the 21st century. Nevertheless, this survival mechanism is still very active in our brains, only now, instead of keeping us out of harm's way, it breeds pessimism and negativity through the mind's tendency to wander until it finds a threat. Do you see how being so focused on finding a threat could magnify the perceived likelihood that things are going or are going to go terribly wrong? So, given our mind's tendency to wander toward the negative, it's important to give our meandering brains a little bit of help by consciously selecting something positive to think about. And that's exactly what today's exercise is all about. Now, I can't think of a better way to develop the habit of positive thinking than to focus our efforts on thinking positively about ourselves. That's why I decided to turn this exercise into a big old celebration of you, my friend. It is time to abandon the negative by focusing on the positive. Do you realize that living a positive life may be as simple as what you tell yourself about you? It's true. How you see yourself impacts the quality of your life more than any other factor. Now, I know this may be hard to believe at first. I get it. But if you can trust me here, I promise you'll see what I mean. So the goal of this exercise in positive thinking is to help you have a more positive self-image. And you do that by choosing to focus on all of your best attributes. And once you've spent some focused time celebrating you, you're going to notice a positive shift in how you experience every aspect of your life. But you're going to have to try it out for yourself to see if it really works, won't you? So without further ado, let's dive in and get started. You, my friend, deserve to appreciate and celebrate you. And here's how I want you to do this. Take an entire day and dedicate it to focusing only on positive aspects about yourself. Oh, things like your positive self-talk and the positive qualities that you appreciate about yourself. And to do this, I've given you some guidelines to follow to help you stay on track. So the first thing you're to do is to record your positive self-talk. To do this, just simply use a notebook or some sort of a device and only write down or record the positive things you catch yourself saying about yourself in your mind. Just ignore the negative comments for now and focus on noticing the positive comments. The mere act of deliberately choosing to focus on the positive calls your brain into action, which means your brain will now override its natural tendency to notice the negative as it actively pursues the positive. This is a great way to train your brain to focus on the positive instead of the negative. Now, the next thing I want you to do during your day of celebrating you is to make a list of your positive attributes. So to do this, sometime during the day, sit down and set aside about 20 minutes and I want you to make a list of all the good and positive things that you can think of about yourself. Now, it can be pretty easy to come up with a fairly short list of the obvious things, right? But what I want you to do is dig a little deeper. I want you to keep writing until you have come up with 100 positive things about yourself. And you might want to include things like your accomplishments, skills, gifts, talents, strengths, personality traits, maybe your interests. And you know something that helped me? I started thinking about compliments that other people have given me. Now, I want you to stick with this exercise until it's finished. Yeah, it may take a little longer than 20 minutes if you're a slow writer, but I promise you, this exercise will give you immense clarity and satisfaction afterwards. Now, the third thing I want you to do is to circle the top 5. Once you've come up with your list of 100 fabulous things about yourself, I want you to pick 5 items that you most firmly believe are true about you. Now, I know you've got 100 items there, right? So to help whittle it down, what I do is think about 5 things that stand out to be true even on a bad day, even when you're feeling grumpy or you're frustrated or you've been rejected. Things that are still true about you when you're in bad circumstances. Okay, now that you've circled those 5, the next thing I want you to do is make a list out of the top 5. So, take the 5 items that you circled, and I want you to either write them down on a piece of paper or record them in a device, just some way that you can carry that list with you everywhere you go. And this is why. It becomes a great way to remind yourself of these positive attributes. It becomes like an affirmation that you can look at on a regular basis. And it's also a great tool for on days where you feel your self-esteem slipping, you can go ahead and read that list and remind yourself of those 5 positive attributes about yourself. This is a fabulous way to break the habit of thinking negatively about yourself. So there you have it. Celebrate you and exercise in positive thinking. Oh, I really hope you do whatever it takes to set aside a day to celebrate the amazing person that you are. And once you do, please, please, please let me know the 5 top qualities that you came up with. And you can do that by listing them in the comment section under the video over at CherylTruesdale.com. So, do you feel inspired now? If so, would you like to inspire someone? Someone you know who could use a little love, hope, and inspiration to brighten their day. Got someone in mind? Then all you need to do to make a difference in their life right now is simply share this video with them. I am truly honored that you joined me for this episode of Cheryl Shares TV. Now, to make sure you get your regular dose of inspiration, just head on over to CherylTruesdale.com and sign up for email updates. That way you'll never miss an episode. And remember, you are amazing. You do matter. And you most certainly do deserve to live a happy life that you love. I'll see you soon, my friend. Bye.